Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Heritage of North Florida. And now, a guy who believes the Emerald City is coming here because, well, Toto, we're not playing Kansas anymore. J.P. Shadrick.
Welcome in. It is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and remodeling company. Busy show ahead as always on Thursday. It's Seahawks week. The Hawks are coming to town to face the Jaguars. And how did the Jaguars handle success? We'll find out starting this week. The team at 4-1, defensive improvement. The guys were a little upset on the defensive side coming out of last week's game, it feels like. It's good to be upset at 4-1. We'll dig into that coming up. Of course, the Jags offense, how they match up against the Seahawks defense this week. Coach Mark Duffner in studio with us as well. And at 5 o'clock, Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network. We'll have James Gladstone and Tony Boselli in studio, and we'll ask about the trade that was made a little earlier, well, last night, but the official word came down today. We're on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube, JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, and Coach Mark Duffner. Welcome back, Coach. How are you?
I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be 4-1. How about those Jags?
I mean, what a win, Logs. 4-1. They found a way down 14-0 to stay in the game. Some adversity in the game. That's what happens when you play the Chiefs sometimes, but they found a way with the ball in their hands. Last drive, Trevor Lawrence making throws, overcoming his own mistakes, and finding a way to the end zone somehow.
I kind of had a laugh on the air right when Trevor, after the play was over and everything kind of was wrapping up, and I chuckled because it was just a crazy play to end the game, and I've never seen anything like that. And most importantly, I heard the numbers earlier. Dave DeCandis, our guru, was telling us it was like the 6th highest rated Monday Night Football game in recent memory, which is amazing. And I have never seen the bank literally filled to capacity until the very end of the game.
Yeah.
And rocking the whole time. It was awesome.
Yeah, nobody leaving that one, Duff.
Oh, no. It was loud and proud. And I'll tell you what, the way the fans showed up, the energy they presented, like Jeff said, I mean, it was electric. I mean, you could cut it with a knife out there. And the sea of teal out there was alive and well.
And it wasn't ending after the game. I mean, people were just so energized.
Well,
they took it to the parking lot.
Let me make it clear. As I was walking to the parking lot, I saw about 55,000 of them. I mean, they were having a blast.
Took a while to get out of the parking lot.
It did that, but I was pleased to see people celebrate like they never have it before.
That was cool.
You know, it also was the ratings on post-game radio were big. Everybody's stuck in the cars.
Good.
See, come on, that's perfect for business.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I was listening. I was listening intently. You were very good.
I love that. Hey, it was a grimy, kind of gritty performance, but they found a way to win. Let's dig into, we'll get our final thoughts on this Chiefs game. We'll look ahead to the Seahawks game coming up, but I mean the Trevor Lawrence performance. It was a vintage Trevor Lawrence experience. I think is probably a good way to explain this thing. We've seen it at times before, where yes, the playoff game's probably the ultimate one, where he throws 4 picks in the first half and then rallies to win the game. This had a lot of everything in it for Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, it was an A to Z-er, that's for sure. I mean, it did have a lot to it, but again, hats are off to him in terms of the grit, the leadership that he showed in the game to the very last. I mean, you couldn't beat that. I mean, and the big thing I think he contributed this week more than ever was he used his legs, and he used them in timely situations at a 5.4 average clip, but critical runs when he was able to move the chains and get us down the field. And as I said, I think just his attitude, he was not going to be denied. We were not going to be denied. His leadership and play allowed that to happen. He had a number of excellent throws, made some good decisions, things to fix, but found a way to win.
Yeah, the first 3 drives of the game were very uneventful, I think. And then now you're looking at being down 14-0, and the moment that you needed a drive, he put together 2 plays with his legs. I think he rushed for 30 yards on the 2 scrambles or runs, whatever you want to call them.
He did.
And it was at a moment to where the passing game and his mind, arm weren't working at its most efficient level. And I think when you're a player, you have to find what's there. And for him in that moment, he found his legs. And then from that moment on through the rest of the ball game, he continued to kind of go back to using his legs, and it was fun to watch. It wasn't always pretty, Even the last drive of the game had some negatives and some positives. You know, he takes a sack when he shouldn't have taken a sack. He's got a delay of game in a situation where you've got to have an awareness about play clock, and he was trying to use cadence to draw offside, changing the play. You don't have time for that. And then the very last play, you know, the stumble-rooski, whatever you want to call it. It was a crazy play, and I don't know if you guys happen to see some of the reaction of the coaches on the sideline. You know, as a coach, you never want to have kind of that game to end on a play like that. You want to have this great design play where it's efficient, it's timing, it's game plan, it's execution, and it's the stumble-rooski. But you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It worked.
Absolutely,
it was beautiful.
Absolutely did work. And what you're talking about on those drives where they moved the ball, that's darn good defense they moved the ball on. I mean, for long drives, and took up a lot of good time and kept Mahomes on the sideline. So, again, I think what you're talking about, again, there was a lot of things right now that they saw, that they did, that they can learn from and utilize to get better.
Yeah, there were 3 throws in that game by Trevor that I thought were really good. The touchdown to Parker Washington, got great coverage on that, and he throws a dart. And you got the other one to De'Ami Brown, even though you had Travis Hunter, but you get a real nice completion on an accurate throw to De'Ami Brown. And then that drop in the bucket throw to Brian Thomas Jr. was just an absolute thing of beauty.
3rd and 7.
Great recognition, because, you know, they're trying to show like a cover 2 show, and the safety actually in his alignment gave it away. He completely cheated in, and I could tell that Trevor was, and I'm sitting there in the booth going, throw it to Brian, throw it to Brian, throw it to Brian, because you could tell that the safety was cheating because he wasn't as completely wide out, showing true to. He's cheating in to get back to the middle, and sure enough, on the snap, he just immediately escapes to the middle. Trevor identifies it and throws an absolute, just a drop-in perfect throw.
Threw it falling away, too. I mean, he had people in his face. I mean, that was not just a no-toucher. He was on at that time. So, like you said, a hell of a throw for plus 33.
The protection on that, just by the way, who's the best player the Chiefs have up front when he wants to play?
Oh, Big Jones.
Chris Jones,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Steve Spagnuolo, Duff, you're a defensive coordinator before, linebackers coach. Where are you going to line up old Chris Jones on the Jaguars offensive line when they've got a backup at center?
Without a doubt.
On the center.
Without a doubt.
On the center, and Jonah Monheim blocked the crap out of him. And then you get a chip from LaQuinn Allen Jr., which I don't think it was really needed, but here we go. You got 2 7th-round picks.
Yeah.
Help making a play happen, okay? Kudos to James Gladstone.
Without a doubt, contributing in the biggest plays that we needed in the course of that ball game. Phenomenal. Monheim in that 4th quarter played his back end off. Hell yes. You talk about a value there and production. Geez, absolutely.
Let's touch on the defensive performance. They gave up some yards, but there were some key moments certainly in this game.
Maybe, did you say some yards?
They gave up some yards. Being nice.
Can we rephrase that?
They gave up a lot of yards.
Thank you.
But there were a couple key moments. The stop at the start of the 3rd quarter. First drive out when it was 14-7. All right, that set the tone. They're not going to run away with this thing. And, of course, the pick 6. I mean, they had driven down the field. They were inside the 5. It's Mahomes and the Chiefs. You know what they do, but Devin Lloyd knew what they did as well and came back off that show of blitz and goes 99 yards, Duff.
You're 100% correct. I mean, they set the tone when they came out, like you just said. It was a 3-and-out in the first series again the second half, and then they were giving up chunks, but didn't bend it in. They bent a little bit, didn't break. That's when Lloyd makes the interception. Great blocks by Hines Allen and by Smoot downfield for the touchdown. The next series, chunks again, but a hellish play by Buster Brown right now on a deep shot to Thornton, who they'd hit about 3 times in the first half. I mean, you talk about a confident play that he made going up to get that ball. Hell of a job.
Have you ever seen, Duff, in your time in the National Football League, I've never seen a quarterback make a defense defend the entire field like a Patrick Mahomes does.
I've been that one face to face.
I know. Have you ever seen anybody like that?
You've got gut aches the entire game. You're just praying and holding your breath. No, he's superb as far as that's concerned. He'll tax every part of your defense structure with what he does with his arm and his legs and his mind. And so, I mean, you've got to have it as good as there is in terms of preparation for him.
And I think also, Andy Reid's a part of that too, because I mean, unless you got somebody at the controls, the Wizard of Oz, to take advantage of that great skill set, it doesn't happen. And Andy Reid is one of the best.
No, I think he is the wizard. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He finds ways to utilize his talent of the players that he's got right now to attack the spots in your defense that aren't sound. He does a hell of a job.
We're on 1010XL 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. It is Jaguars Happy Hour. The Seahawks-Jaguars game is presented by Florida Blue. Proud to be the exclusive health insurance provider and support the Jacksonville community as the official community partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, Coach Mark Duffner in studio with us in the first half hour each and every week. Let's get an early look at the Seattle Seahawks offense, and it starts with Sam Darnold, a guy who's been around the block in the National Football League, a few different stops in his career, former first-round pick. But all of a sudden he has showed up, and Seattle, they are 9th in total offense. They are 5th in passing offense. They're top 10 on third downs, 5th in the red zone. They're scoring nearly 30 points per game, Duff. Why is it so successful for Sam Darnold?
Well, I think he's found his groove. He played darn well last year for the Minnesota Vikings. He led them to a 14-win season as far as that's concerned and was playing well. Right now, you can argue that he's playing as good as any quarterback in the league. I mean, he leads in yards per attempt. He leads in yards per completion. His accuracy is the best in the league in terms of the least number of underthrown or overthrown balls. He's number one in the league in terms of the deep ball. Passes that are over 20 yards, he's got the best completion. He's playing with confidence. He's playing with poise. He's making good decisions. I mean, this guy is a scary player right now who's on a roll and just played very well against a pretty doggone good defense in Tampa Bay.
And what's crazy, first-round pick of the Jets, a few years ago, he's on his 5th team.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I mean, how does that happen?
It's the new wave now, right? I mean, Baker's the same way.
It's amazing. I think Baker was the first pick. I think that he was the 3rd pick ahead of Josh Allen, ahead of Lamar Jackson. Both of them, kind of traveling around with different teams, kind of nomads, if you will, and now they're hitting it like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, looking over, since 24, obviously Sam Darnold got kind of back in the lineup last year with Minnesota, right? So you look back, how many 100-plus rating games that he has looking at it today? I think it's like 16 games, if I'm counting them. 16 games of over 100 quarterback rating. And here's my question. On all those stops that he made, okay, and look, the Jets are dysfunctional, okay? You get what happened there, okay? But then all of a sudden he bounced around to a few other places, and Minnesota realizes what they have. They wanted to keep him, but obviously he had the opportunity to leave if he wanted to. But what happened in Carolina?
Right.
No, it's amazing.
I mean, how do they let him get out of the building? Right?
Yeah. No, it's amazing because, like Jeff has said, I mean, these last 2 seasons, again, stack him up against anybody in terms of how productive he's been.
The completion percentage is what amazes me, though. I mean, you're talking 73+%.
I mean, by the way, remember he and Baker Mayfield were teammates in Carolina.
I know,
which is
amazing.
Right.
How about that? No, and that 70% completion's not dink and dunks either now. No. I mean, they're hitting some, like I told you.
What did you say the yards per attempt was?
Yards per attempt right now is 12.9.
Okay.
No, 9.1, but 12.9 per completion.
Okay, 9.1 yards per attempt?
Yeah.
Is really high. I mean,
it's
like
number
one
one
of the best in the league, right?
Yeah, no, it's number one.
I mean, so on a guy that has 73%, if you were to ask me, hey, what do you think the yards per attempt is on a guy that's maybe 73% completion rate? And I might say 5.5, maybe 6 yards per attempt, but 9?
No, he is leading the league in the deep ball. I mean, a completion average of deep passes over 20 yards.
Those two numbers existing together are incredibly rare. Incredibly rare. So give Sam Darnold credit. I thought that the one thing that watching him on film this past game, he does a great job of managing the pocket himself. The way he moves subtly in the pocket to find a way to get his feet back to where it's underneath of him and then throwing the ball, he does a really good job with that. And the one interception that he did have last week was a deflection off of a helmet.
Yeah, I would say this to you, backing that up. It's a clinic tape. If you watch that tape that Jeff's talking about, it's clinic quarterback play in terms of maneuvering in the pocket to get himself set to go through his progressions and throw the ball at a clip over 70%.
Jackson Smith and Jigba already over 500 yards receiving this year, 3 100-plus yard games, couple of touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, who is a familiar name to many, not quite as effective as is in his younger days, but still can do it. Barner, Hawks touchdowns, the tight end. He's got 4 of them this year on 14 total receptions. And they have a running game as well with Kenneth Walker III. So what is your plan of attack defensively for all these weapons on the outside, and how do you play it in the pass game and then plug the run at the same time?
Well, you've got a major challenge right now because, again, you've got a running back coming in here with averages over 5 yards a carry. You got a quarterback we just talked about that's hotter than Hades right now. So, and then wide receivers that are making plays. Kupp's playing great form right now. He's a very dependable player on third down, catching the football. He had, I think, 7 catches against Arizona the week before. I mean, they're utilizing personnel well. I mean, this is a physical group now. I mean, they come out in 12 personnel, and they'll bang the ball at you in terms of running the ball. So, I mean, it's going to take take good execution. You got to tackle. You got to be in position. Things that we've demonstrated up to this point. But Tampa Bay, who's a pretty good defense, struggled trying to stop this offense.
Yeah, they got 2 backs now. They're going to roll them. But.
Walker and Charbonnet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Chardonnay.
Charbonnet.
I like Chardonnay.
I'm sure you do.
No, but the tight end that you're talking about, Barner, big tight end. The catch numbers as far as touchdowns go is very rare. 4 out of 16 catches. Yeah, right. It's very uncommon. But I want to make sure I pronounce this name right. Njigba.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Some guy goes by JSN for those.
Yes.
Those
I got to go on Jaguars radio apparently.
Yeah, I'm going to practice that quite a bit. Smith and Jigba.
Correct.
Make sure I get that right prior to game, so
you
that
might want to when he puts 100 on this.
Yeah, without looking down and seeing the phonetic spelling. And that will be one of my goals this week. But he's a really good football player, and it was interesting listening to Tony Boselli. We were talking to him earlier, and he said that he might be right up there with Jamar Chase as far as abilities go. I mean, that's lofty praise. I mean, Jamar Chase is like one of the best, which we'll talk to him about
nightmares.
That coming up on HQ. But it's cool, though, and if I'm a quarterback, to be able to have a veteran guy like a Cooper Kupp and then have a young guy who's dynamic like Smith and Jigba.
Yes.
I did that slowly.
Correct.
I'm going to get it better, JP. That's a good combo to have.
75 yards plus receiving in every game this year. So, I mean, he has been consistently a pain to the opponent's defense, that's for sure.
All right, guys, we'll come back in just a moment and flip it around to the Seahawks defense, the plan of attack for Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence, and company this Sunday. We're on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Jags HQ, James Gladstone, Tony Boselli in studio. We'll get answers about the trade of Tyson Campbell away to the Browns. That's coming up at 5 o'clock. This is Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elace, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elace.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
Hey Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high-quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a ZipChair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Just what they've been running. You know, he's been there for a couple years, so we have some good stuff to watch and to look at. And obviously, you know, it played against him when he was in Baltimore too, so have some of that. You don't have to go I don't know if you go too far back in the vault for some of that. You don't want to overload and just watch everything possible, but there's plenty to watch. And you know, he's a really good D coordinator. The defense is playing really well. I think they're good on all three levels. They do a lot of things well. Good after the quarterback. They're good against the run. You know, they're just a solid, well-coached, you know, defense that flies around. So it's a challenge for us for sure.
That's the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, on the press conferences this week at Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube. Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour, and week 6 of the season is here. The Jaguars will go head-to-head with the Seahawks in the crucial catch game dedicated to the fight against cancer. Join us October 12th. This Sunday at Everbank Stadium, we'll raise awareness through early detection, risk reduction, and education. Get your tickets now at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Need a packed house Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff time at the bank.
It's the last time to see the team. What's the next home game?
2029, I think. No, I mean, no, it's like
about
5 weeks.
It's like
About
November.
middle, yeah, no, it's middle.
Right?
No, it's middle of November anyway.
It's November,
it's mid-November.
right?
I got it right here. Yeah, the next home game would be November 16th.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because it's London next week, bye week, at Raiders, at Texans, home against the Chargers.
Get a
And the
look at
weather's-
them while you can.
And the weather's going to be great. So,
Yes.
again, we needed to rock and roll in the stadium.
Get out here and do it. And now the matchup, of course, this week, the Jaguars offense against the Seahawks defense that Trevor Lawrence was just talking about. And they're stout against the run. 3rd in the league, Duff, against the run. What is it about this group? What stands out the most in that department and overall when you look at it?
Well, you know, prior to the game against Tampa Bay, this is a high-pursuing, well-tackling team, or a team that tackles well. I mean, you could see that they run the football. Now, they struggled tackling here against Tampa Bay. I think they had 10 missed tackles, which was, you know, out of character for them. But, they only gave up 56 yards rushing against Tampa Bay, who's got a pretty good running attack when their running back was out. But they're well coached. They're talented up front. In particular, they've got the 4th highest pressure rate in the league with the 4-man front. So I mean, they're a gifted group. I think they're playing pretty doggone well, and you know they're determined, I think, to get back on track. Last week they did not play well overall, especially in the second half. They were very sloppy and struggled there. So they'll be anxious to get back on track.
Yeah, and last game though, I mean, even though they're really good against the run, the numbers that Baker Mayfield put up, wow. I mean, I'm seriously, wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
how about 426 yards?
Yeah, and no sacks by Seattle's defense, no takeaways. Baker had 4 incompletions. 4. Okay, how many times did he throw the ball, Duff?
A ton.
A lot.
33.
A lot more than that.
33.
Yeah. No, unbelievable, and gave up big plays. I mean, in other words, there was a 20-yard touchdown on 3rd and 15. There was a 57-yard completion on 3rd and 13.
Buka.
Yep. Yeah, you got that right.
Monster game.
Monster game.
Can BTJ have something similar? I don't know.
That would be nice.
He had a nice game this past week, kind of without any drops, it was all positive energy from Brian, so hopefully he builds on that. He's got to have one of those games, that you hope gets him going, and I hope that game that he had on Monday night is the springboard that allows him to get back to what we saw last year.
It's coming. I can feel it. It's coming. There's no doubt in my mind about it. It's coming.
We'll get to the full injury report coming up in just a little bit, but as of yesterday, there were a handful of secondary players on the report for the Seahawks, including Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback, didn't practice with a knee issue. Tariq Woolen, the corner, a concussion, was limited yesterday, so maybe that's trending the right way for him. But the safety, Julian Love, with a hamstring injury also. He didn't practice on Wednesday. So we'll have to watch it later today. It comes out later when the West Coast team is involved, but you start digging deeper into that secondary, maybe you can take some shots down the field on offense.
Oh, no question. I think that Tampa Bay certainly felt that was
Clearly
part of the keys to success. But you got to deal with that front now. And that Leonard Williams right now is still a force for them right now in terms of a guy that can affect the quarterback. He's got 2 tackles for loss, 19 tackles, 6 quarterback hits. He and this Murphy, the nose tackle inside, provide impetus to that front, which can be dominant at times.
I really like Byron Murphy coming out from Texas. Just a really powerful player. Wish we could have had him here, but, didn't end up working out that way. But, look, the Jaguars got injuries to deal with, too. Hainsey ended up leaving that game with a hamstring, didn't come back in, as we talked about earlier.
He was working off to the side today during the open period of practice.
Right. We saw that Monheim played pretty well, and I'm not trying to, think anything less of Hainsey, but, Monheim, I think, can do a good job. But you miss the leadership and the experience with Hainsey, and then Brenton Strange, who I think, he's a stud. He's one of the best tight ends in football, and you don't have him. That's a big loss.
That's a loss because I'll tell you, the very first running play of the game, he knocks the dog off the defensive end, which allowed ETN to have a big run, then made a great catch early on, things that he'd been doing consistently all year. That's going to be a miss for us for a while.
I really thought that could have been a breakout game for him to really allow people on a national scale to appreciate what skill set he has, so I'm disappointed for him, that he was able to get, unfortunately, got hurt in that game. But they're going to find out later on because he's going to be back, and he's a good football player.
He's a damn good football player. I agree 100%.
Yeah, no doubt. Now it's all hands on deck at tight end. They got some other veteran players in that room as well to try to step up and fill some of those roles. Duff, how about some keys to a Jaguars victory? How do they get it done at home against the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks?
Well, again, starting off on the defensive side, you've got to tackle. A no-brainer statement, but this running back duo that Jeff already has talked about comes in with high-flying numbers as far as that's concerned, and that's going to be a challenge for us. We've got to be able to get this running game stopped and then find ways to be aware of where a JSN is, but they've got other guys too. They've got Horton that's playing well for them, other guys that are factors. So, have good eye control, play great assignment football. Again, we got to win the takeaway battle. That continues to be what we've got to do. Typically, again, stop the run. On the other side of the football, we're going to have to contain this defense, and one that's going to be out to show that last week was a blip on the radar, so to speak, in terms of how they played against Tampa Bay. So ball control offense like we do, run the football, which will be a challenge because they're doing pretty good as far as that's concerned. But I think, again, continue to ascend offensively in terms of our production. Spreading the ball around right now by the quarterback, taking advantage of the weapons we've got in terms of our playmakers. Playing that way, I think, again, that'll lead to success for us.
No delay of games. No delay of games.
Well, look, you nice. just get better. Across all things offensively, get better, and then defensively, you got to do a better job on the third down.
Yeah.
You got to be critical on that, and in order to do that, you need to stop the run like you were earlier this season. Where that becomes a non-factor at all. Then you give yourself a chance on third down and offensively, just get better. Look, Trevor, keep the mobility part of it. Please be careful. Don't take any hits, okay, when you do that. But then take the next steps in the offense, and just keep getting better.
They tapered down the penalties overall. That was a true step in the right direction, but critical timing of penalties right now be the focus as far as that's concerned. Like, let's don't beat ourselves or slow ourselves down. We got enough to do with that opponent.
Duff, always a pleasure. Thanks for the insight.
Well, pleasure for me to be here, and again, appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Let's be 5-1.
Yeah.
How about that?
Sunday. When's the last time this team's done 5-1? I think you got to go back to 99.
Probably.
And here's the crazy thing. You get one win this week, you surpass the win total from last year.
It's amazing what they've accomplished so far.
Right?
And we still know, and they know, right? That's the good news. They know right now that they can be better. And that not so much that we do. They know that, and I'm anxious to see them continue to go that way.
Former Jags linebackers coach Mark Duffner joins us each and every Thursday. And from the backyard of the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Jags HQ. We'll have James Gladstone and Tony Boselli live in studio to break down the trade and much more. This is Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
Watch the game, host your crew, or just unwind at BC Grill and Patio at Sheridan Jacksonville, part of the Marriott family of hotels. Enjoy craft cocktails, tasty bites, and indoor-outdoor seating perfect for watch parties, happy hours, and events. Mention this radio ad for 10% off food and drinks. Visit SheridanJacksonville.com or call 904-564-4772.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
It's almost basketball season. North Florida basketball is right around the corner. Secure your seats inside UNF Arena for both men's and women's basketball for less than $20 a game. Visit UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now or call 904-620-BIRD today. Again, North Florida basketball is almost here. Secure your seats inside UNF Arena for both men's and women's basketball for less than $20 a game. Visit UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now or call 904-620-BIRD today. Swoop.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies based in Jacksonville has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com.
Look closely at the Ford F-150, and you'll see more than just a truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. Just another reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America for 48 straight years. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Come in today for a great deal on a 2025 Ford F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
So much of playing this position, I think, in this league is timing and circumstance. And there's so many talented guys that people end up saying can't do it, or it doesn't work in that timing and that circumstance. And now look what has happened to him in his career. Baker and him are on the same team and couldn't quite play on that team. So it's just, so much of it is not giving up on these guys and knowing that as time goes and they accumulate more reps, not just in games, but in practice, calling plays, guys coming from spread systems, no huddle, shotgun, like that whole operation is new. It's different. It's a different mode of operation for those guys. So really cool to see guys like Sam, continuing to get better as they go throughout their career.
That's Liam Cohen, Jaguars head coach, earlier this week. Asked about Sam Darnold and the long road to get where he is now in Seattle. Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour from the Hyundai Studios, the Miller Electric Center. We're on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube at 5 o'clock. It's Jags HQ. We'll go over the entire Jaguars radio network. James Gladstone, Tony Boselli will be in studio. We'll break down the trade that happened earlier today. Tyson Campbell out of here. Greg Newsome II is in from the Browns. We'll dig into that coming up at 5 o'clock. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, our thanks to former Jags linebackers coach Mark Duffner each and every Thursday. Kainani Stevens steps in here now, Jaguars reporter. Always a pleasure, Kai. How are you?
Happy to be here, as always.
Yes. The Jags are too, by the way. It's 4-1.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun, and it's a lot more – it's a short week for us, so our schedule's a little bit off, but it's a lot better when they win, and you have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. So, and then it's just kind of a weird time because we've got the Seattle game and then London very soon. So,
yeah, you hope that the whole, because the reality is, as a team, you've got to prepare for traveling to London next week now. So you hope that the whole prep thing for London, which is ongoing now, doesn't affect the concentration level for this game here this week. Because the reality is that as a team, you've got to look forward a little bit to next week. Mm-hmm. Players got to make sure they got all their things, lined up, whether it's, their luggage,
the flight's Monday.
Family, their wives,
we're leaving early,
et cetera.
Yeah, flight's Monday. It's not a week later.
No, exactly. It's not like you got until Thursday next week. Yeah. And I think that there's, that argument of when do you travel for London. A lot of coaches some of them like to do it like the Jaguars have done in the past when it's just been a single trip to leave on a Thursday because you're not looking ahead as much, whereas here you got a game, then the next day you're getting on an airplane. So you hope that doesn't distract. We'll see.
Interesting to hear Liam Cohen's perspective on Sam Darnold. Of course, he had Baker Mayfield in L.A., and same kind of idea with what Sam Darnold is going through, and having a lot of success right now. Both of these guys are, and they're throwing the football all over the field, and just the confidence that comes with that. And for this Jaguars defense, an opportunity. The ball's going to be in the air some in this game.
I think it's exciting. I love the, trend, you might say, of quarterbacks kind of getting a second life with different franchises, maybe first-round picks or people that had high expectations put on them and then going somewhere else. Obviously, Baker Mayfield, we've seen what he's done in Tampa. Looking at Sam Darnold now after what he did in Minnesota, even Daniel Jones now, and from the first couple of weeks in Indy has been pretty cool. So that's very exciting, I think. And it's also, I think we experienced a little bit here, not necessarily with the quarterback per se, but different players. It's like a lot of these players were here in the last system. Let's talk about the defense. The defense was one of the worst last year. Now they're one of the best, and a lot of their core players are the same. So a lot of that is coaching, finding the right matchups, matching in terms of coaching and players for that style. And I think what's cool about what Sam Darnold's been doing with Clint Kubiak up there, obviously he's getting more comfortable now, and if they can score with the weapons that they have, they're very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
The biggest concern I have is their quarterback, is not only how accurate he is, but how he's managing that pocket. One thing that's got to change from last week is that I didn't think the Jaguars did a very good job up front disrupting Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. I didn't think it was close to good enough. And look, Patrick's a special player, and I think he sometimes can control the rush just because of who he is. Because when you're rushing him, you're like, do I get aggressive or do I just start peeking, getting ready to go left side if he runs that way, or go this way if he comes off? So you become a little conservative as a rusher. And this week with Sam Darnold, you got to go. You got to be a better rushing team this week against Sam Darnold than you were against Patrick Mahomes. If you don't, he's going to be 75% completion rate. And then, let me look again. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. I got to look
Tuffy.
still.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get there. But if Sam has a clean pocket, then he's going to be looking at his fourth 100-yard receiving game.
Oof. Don't need that.
No.
Eesh. Time now for the Jaguars' defensive coverage of the game, presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees, and we take a look at the quarterback comparison. Sam Darnold, as you said, 73% this season, over 1,200 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's third in the league in rating. Lawrence, 60%. That's up from the previous week after the performance against the Chiefs, at least statistically, was better. Just over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 picks, and he's 28th in the league in rating. So that's the matchup, and that's what the Jaguars defense has to slow down on the other side. And the other part of this guy is the Seahawks defense against Lawrence and this Jags running attack. They stopped the run pretty well up front, big stout defensive line, and they've got some injury concerns on the back end.
Yes. I talked to Jen Mueller, who's the sideline reporter for the Seahawks on radio, and they've been really impressed with what they've seen from the defense so far, but they do have, I think they were onto their 4th-string cornerback, and then there's a lot of edge players that they'll see as the week goes on who's available, but they're dealing with a lot of injuries, which could be beneficial to the Jaguars, because if not, they're one of the top 3 or 4, I think, run-stopping defenses in the league. So
third.
That's not great for us. That's not ideal. I know the Jags have been running it well, but we didn't see a ton of it. I mean, we saw Trevor Lawrence running on Monday Night Football, but we didn't see a ton from Etienne compared to what we've seen in the first 4 weeks before that. So I think they operate best when they establish the run early, whether that'll be an option. Also, we're still waiting for that pass game to come together, some explosives, right? Something like that. We talked all in training camp about the wide receivers, and now it's like we haven't really seen it yet.
What's the terminology we're using? It's still a work in progress.
Yes.
You know, it's still the sign that says still under construction.
That's kind of what's going on.
But it's nice to be 4-1 and still be working on progress.
That's okay.
If you're 1-4 and you're working on it, not as good.
We've been there too.
We have.
Yeah. The one thing that the Seahawks have been doing a pretty good job too is interceptions. I mean, 7 on the year. That's, there's only one team that has more.
Yeah.
I wonder who that team is.
Yeah.
I don't know who. But they're Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, and Jaron Reed.
That's pretty big in the middle right there.
DeMarcus Lawrence, if he plays, those 4 guys, pretty good. By the way, just got to give this credit to the Jaguars offensive line. I thought that they played a very strong game this past week. If it wasn't for them, they don't win that game. Walker Little, I thought, played his best game of the year. And I thought he was really good. He blocked Chris Jones one-on-one, even when Chris was wanting to play. Okay. A lot of people, Chris Jones decides not to play. Well, he doesn't sometimes, but he was deciding to play against Walker Little, and Walker Little did a really good job and was strong against him. So give him credit. I thought that some other guys needed to play just a little bit better, but Walker, I thought he was arguably one of the best offensive linemen on the field. And of course, Monheim did a really good job at center. And Ezra Cleveland, that block at the last play offensively, are you kidding me?
I know.
Awesome.
Your point about Monheim, it brings up the last couple weeks, the guys coming off the bench cold in the second half of games.
And a rookie, for that matter.
Right, and he's a rookie, but then Van Lanen, who's been in the league, Chuma Edoga's been in the league. To come off cold in the second half of a game like that and perform at that level, it says something about the preparation,
the coach,
everything involved here.
Let's give offensive line coach Sean Surratt a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a really good job with that unit. Look, if you can get this offensive line, if you compared like individuals to last year, Anton Harrison last year regressed, did not finish, wasn't pretty. He's finishing at a level that's never been seen before. That's impressive to me. Hainsey, I think, prior to this injury, and he'll, I think, get back to where he was, I think he was having his best professional year as a pro. I think Walker Little is having one of his best years as a pro. So look, I mean, you got to give credit to scheme a little bit too, but also coaching matters. And so Sean Surratt, in my book, positional coach of the year so far for this team.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here first. Tonight, Jaguars All Access Television, String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Who you got, Kai?
One of our captains, Josh Hines Allen, will be joining us today. And Josh loves to talk, so you definitely want to tune in. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say.
Yeah, you just kind of
throw
one question and sit back.
Jeff and I don't even really need to be there. He's just going to take over, have the Josh
show.
Exactly.
He's awesome. He's awesome. I was really hoping that he would be able to get after the Chiefs rookie left tackle a little bit, but I didn't think Josh had his best game. Even though they got lots of attention, Josh still sometimes has better games. But look, he's 2 sacks away from the franchise record. I would love to see him do that at home, and here's the reality. If he doesn't get it this game,
it's going to be a wow. Until we're home, I'd
doing
say.
it at home, kind of shrinking.
And, by the way,
there he is.
Speaking of the
we're talking about
join us. We're live on the radio if you want. This is what happens in the studio. Josh Hines Allen walking through, hearing us talk about it.
Take my seat.
Yeah, sit right here. Sit right here. We got a force. There we go. Sit right there, Josh. You're good. For a second, just for a second.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah, you walked into a live studio, Josh Hines Allen. Get close to the mic so we can hear you, and Jacksonville can hear you. You're a busy media man today. You're doing TV tonight. Now you're rolling through our media studios here. That's
right. That's right.
You know,
we appreciate
little throwback.
Fellow co-host.
A little throwback.
Yeah.
I'm good to go back to strings tonight.
Hey, by the way, I like you repping the Kentucky pants. Did you mismatch without intentional doing that?
No, I had a play in a white T-shirt with the Kentucky, but I had a stain on my white tee, so I can't go like that. So then I had to.
All right, well, I got to say, because I haven't said it to you yet, congratulations on the Kentucky Hall of Fame.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome stuff.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Very glad you got to go check it out, too. Actually get up there and do it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool to go back and throughout the week. I won't do that again, but it was cool.
It's a lot of flying back and forth. Hey,
yeah,
that's
all right.
Do
that again.
And then just a quick thought this week. We were talking about the home game. Seahawks crowd had to help you guys a lot this past week on Monday night.
100%.
Need that again. And this is a good offensive team coming to town in Seattle, 100%. Right?
100%. They were 4-1 for a reason. Are they 4-1?
No, 3-2.
3-2. They're a good offense. You know what I'm saying? They're good. Their defense is playing phenomenal right now as well. A lot of splash plays. A lot of, they get after the passer a lot. They got big guys up front that can stop the run. So it's going to be, we're going to have to bring our A game. It's not a game where, there's never a game where you just take the foot off the gas. But again, I think we're kind of fueled up from last week. I think last week we didn't play our best ball, and we kind of got that bad taste that, we got to reset our standard of play. So we're really excited to go back out there and just play some good Jacksonville football.
All right, so I was kind of, I don't mean to put you on the spot here or anything. Okay. You don't have to give us the complete truthful answer.
You didn't open the door. You opened the door.
You don't have to give the complete truthful answer, but chance of seeing your running mate back on the other side of your defense?
Man, that's
the bully.
I need him on. I don't need him. Well, I need him on the field. I want him on the field, but at the end of the day, man, I care about him as a person and his health. I know Trey's just cut from a different cloth, bro. So he gonna really deal with anything he can deal with. But at the end of the day, man, I'd rather have him closer to 100. Nobody's ever 100% once training camp starts. No. So I'd rather have you close to 90% than 35, 40. But if he is out there, he's gonna give us 100%. And I know that, and I expect that. So if he does go, whatever.
By the way, if he plays, he's probably going to have a club protecting that wrist.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the bully with a club?
Man.
Get out the way.
Man, he better learn how to use it. He better know how that pain feel. I told him, you just got to let it, just hit it one time so you can know that this is the pain that you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
And, you can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to get worse than this.
I mean, if it's padded up, you could use it as a weapon, right?
I had a club my rookie year.
Yeah.
And I liked it. And then they got me out the club and put me in like a cast, more of like a cast thing, and I hated it.
Not that.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated it. But that's where it's at.
We were told you got things going on.
I know.
You're an interview guy. Thanks for swinging in, Josh. Good to see you. Josh Hines Allen, Kainani Stevens. They'll be on Jaguars All Access Television tonight, 7 o'clock, Fox 30 at String Sports Brewery in Springfield. We're back in a moment with the injury report and final thoughts. And if you want customized Jags furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair, furniture for fans. This is Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
Look closely at the Ford F-150, and you'll see more than just a truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. Just another reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America for 48 straight years. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Come in today for a great deal on a 2025 Ford F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
It's almost basketball season. North Florida basketball is right around the corner. Secure your seats inside UNF Arena for both men's and women's basketball for less than $20 a game. Visit UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now or call 904-620-BIRD today. Again, North Florida basketball is almost here. Secure your seats inside UNF Arena for both men's and women's basketball for less than $20 a game. Visit UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now or call 904-620-BIRD today. Swoop.
Federal employees keep our country going, and GEHA is proud to keep them going with health plans exclusively for them. We were started by postal employees in 1937, and today we offer all federal employees a network of 1.7 million providers and a health plan for every stage of life. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. GEHA. Find your federal health plan at GEHA.com.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies based in Jacksonville has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern pit barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Welcome back. Final moments of Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman. Our thanks to Kainani Stevens joining us. You'll hear her coming up and see her on Jaguars All Access Television tonight. Our thanks to Josh Hines Allen, who was just walking through the hallway and heard us talking about him and opened the door. And that's what happens when you open the door to a live radio studio. You get to sit in.
And Josh is always one of those guys that's trying to get him to talk is like pulling teeth.
He never. I mean, I wish you'd be more open and share things.
Joking, obviously. I mean, he's awesome. He's awesome. You know, he was the co-host of the television show for many years. You know, we had Calais Campbell
that's right.
on Jaguars All Access as a longtime host, and then Josh took over once Calais moved on, and Josh was great. And you know, so it's good to have him back on tonight.
And a big week, certainly. I mean, the crucial catch game hits a little closer to home for him and his family now this week with everything that's happened with Wesley, his son. And,
big time.
So that's and obviously he's chasing the sack record. There's a lot happening with Josh Hines Allen, so looking forward to seeing him. And you can see him tonight if you get down to Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield.
I will be there.
Oh, nice. Alabama wings?
Alabama white wings are on the menu for me again, JP.
Sure.
That's my regular order.
They are. Jaguars COO Chad Johnson met with the media today. An update on Stadium entering Week 6. So gates 1 and 4 are now super gates with access to the fan entertainment zone. And no ramps inside Gate 1 this week. You got to go up those stairs, the grand staircase, or there are escalators to the main concourse in the south end. So the ramps are starting to come down, I believe, today, actually. So they're earlier this week. So they will not be available for this week inside of Gate 1, but there's plenty of access to the main concourse to get around. For all the info, jaguars.com/stadium. Let's take a look at the injury report presented by UF Health, the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with a team on the West Coast involved in a game, these come out a little bit later each day. So we do not have Thursdays yet, but we can review Wednesday and speculate. That's what we do well.
What do we got?
You want to start with Seattle?
Yeah, let's start with them because they got a bigger list.
Nice, actually pretty close to the same.
Yeah,
same
but
list.
I mean more frontline guys.
Nick Imanwari, safety, ankle issue, limited Wednesday. Derek Hall, linebacker with an oblique injury for the Seahawks, did not participate. And the next 5 guys here did not participate. Ernest Jones, linebacker with a shoulder issue, did not practice Wednesday. Josh Jones, tackle, ankle injury, did not practice. DeMarcus Lawrence, linebacker, quadriceps injury, did not participate. Julian Love, safety, a hamstring injury, did not participate. Jaron Reed, defensive tackle, was resting, did not participate, not injury related. Don't worry about him. The fullback, Brady Russell, with a wrist injury, but he was full on Wednesday. Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback with a knee issue, did not practice Wednesday. Tariq Woolen, cornerback, concussion limited on Wednesday. That's the Seahawks list. A lot of starters in the secondary, especially Witherspoon, Woolen, Love are all contributors. DeMarcus Lawrence, of course, on the D-line linebacker spot is big.
What did you say that Devin Witherspoon's injury is?
A knee
issue. He's inactive 3 of the last 4 games.
Yikes.
And he's a marvelous football player, nickel. And what is so impressive about him is how physical he plays. I mean, extremely physical. Pro Bowl level player, 2-time Pro Bowler. Was an excellent pick going back in 23. Pretty good draft pick for them back in 23 because him and Jackson Smith and Jigba were the 2 first-round picks.
Jaguars had a long list on Wednesday, but it was a very light practice. They wore hats on the practice field Wednesday and practiced for about an hour. It was about it. So we'll hit some of the high spots here. De'Ami Brown, I saw today in the open period, was wearing a non-contact jersey, a wide receiver with a shoulder issue. Ezra Cleveland limited on Wednesday with an ankle injury. Idoga was limited with his knee issue. Robert Hainsey with a hamstring injury did not participate Wednesday. He was on the side in the open period today. Everybody else limited on Wednesday. Harrison, McCary, Eric Murray, the safety with the neck issue. Bashal Tootin, the running back, and Trayvon Walker with the wrist injury was limited Wednesday. Actually practiced a little bit late last week. Was unable to go in the Monday night game. We'll see how it goes moving the rest of this week. Tomorrow they're going to make a designation for Trayvon Walker and could be a club in play, as you heard from Josh Hines.
Could be, and that's a scary thought. Trayvon with a club.
Right? It's tough enough.
Some of the players in the past have literally treated some of their casts or clubs as weapons.
Didn't the old Raiders used to put all this fake plastic on when they could, and it was against the rules, and just hit people in the head with it?
I had a teammate, Kyle Clifton, and he was a linebacker from TCU, and he used to wear these forearm kind of pads, right?
Yeah.
And they also kind of were there to help his wrist a little bit, but they were made of orthoplast, so they were custom molded to fit his arm perfectly. So he would go out there in pregame, and all the officials, in pregame, they're walking around, they're checking all the pads, right? And he would have it padded up in pregame. And then after pregame, he'd go into the locker room and then take that padding off and just literally put tape on it. And it was hard as a rock, these things. So when he was hitting guys, imagine the difference of a guy hitting you with a forearm that has a pad on it versus a forearm that's got a 2x4 taped to it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm sure that he won't be able to get away with that or would do something like that. He wouldn't do that.
No.
But I guarantee you it wouldn't feel like he had a 2x4 on his wrist. Trayvon's a strong dude, man.
Yeah, I don't want to get punched by that club.
No, me either. And can you use it as a, the old Deacon Jones head slap?
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine if he wound up one time?
This day and age, no chance.
Hit a guy?
They'd ban him forever.
You don't want to have that pain going through your surgically repaired wrist, but
We're back in a moment. Jags HQ will have James Gladstone and Tony Boselli in studio. We'll break down the trade. Greg Newsome comes to the Jags from Cleveland. Tyson Campbell headed to Cleveland, and this is Jaguars Happy Hour.
Welcome to Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida. JP Shadrick and former Jaguar Jeff Lageman sit down each week with the decision makers of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
We're going to bring you a product that you all can be proud of. With that, game on.
Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, starts right now.
Welcome in. It is Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida from the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center. We're on the Jaguars Radio Network, presented by the University of Florida, #1 university in the U.S. News and World Report's #1 state for education. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman, GM James Gladstone, EVP Tony Boselli in studio with us. After a Monday Night Football win over the Chiefs, the Jags now 4-1, and we'll host the Seattle Seahawks coming up this Sunday at the Bank. We'll get to that matchup coming up shortly. We'll touch on the Chiefs game in a moment, but business today, trade alert. The Jaguars send Tyson Campbell to the Browns. They receive in return Greg Newsome II. There's some other later draft picks involved in that trade as well. How did it come about? Why now for the trade, James?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of layers to that as it relates to the timeline, right? Really at this stage of the calendar year, doing some check-ins with teams ahead of what will be about 4 weeks from now, the trade deadline, just to get a grasp for, what teams are needing what positions and what they might be hunting up, whether it is that they'll be seeking players, seeking picks as we approach that trade deadline, and just getting a pulse for that. And really that's where this started, and, just the natural progression of the conversation with Andrew actually ended up leading us down the path of entertaining this as a concept. And over the course of the evening hours, we were able to come to some version of an idea that this was something both parties thought was going to be in the best interest of their teams, and able to execute it there, just a little bit past 9:30, and then I think probably became more public knowledge around 10 o'clock or so, if I'm not mistaken, and so it happened relatively fast.
Past my bedtime.
Yeah, I was already asleep.
Yeah.
You know what? I think a few people involved could say that. Nonetheless, really excited about adding Greg to the equation. I think
obviously you a relationship with Andrew Berry. You had the draft day trade to get Travis Hunter. Did that help things, having a previous conversation, or is this something that you tried to facilitate with all of the general managers around the league? Because you say you were kind of calling to check in at this time of year.
Yeah, I think it doesn't hurt that we have a prior experience, working through a trade. At the same time, I think just ensuring that we have a pulse for what's going on around the landscape of the league is important, and that just includes touch points, right? Whether or not there's any tangible action tied to that. I think just being, up to date and in the know, so to speak, is an appropriate step. It's obviously a responsibility of mine, so what comes with that is just some organic conversation that can sometimes lead to actionable items, and I think in this instance it's clear to say that it did.
Yeah, I'm looking at the PFF numbers, and Boselli is a big believer in PFF. If you didn't know that, James, I mean, he's
especially OL. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Grades are big.
It's very important.
Just
You
looking,
gotta pay attention to those things.
Tyson Campbell, 71st rated PFF corner, according to snap count, requirements or whatever.
How's that? How many out of?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably a longer list than 71, I would assume.
How many starting corners in the NFL? Let's just say there's 2 on every team.
Well, 3 on every team. I mean, I count.
Okay, 3 on every team.
96.
Because there's no special category in PFF for nickels.
Gotcha.
So you got
96.
96.
Gotcha.
We got nickels.
Okay, so 96. Greg Newsome, considerably higher, rated 40th according to PFF with a 63.9.
Gotta like it.
Yeah, and here's the question that I have.
Who's the top? Did you find out who the top rated corner was?
I will tell you right now, Antoine Winfield.
Well, that would be a safety.
Well, excuse me, I changed the category.
Here we go. Come on, Logs.
The Will Johnson.
Oh,
wow,
I like
rookie.
it. The rook.
Will Johnson is 1, Chavarius Ward 2, Isaiah Rogers 3, Jamel Dean 4, Kenny Moore the second 5, Jordan Lewis 7.
Oh,
okay.
they nailed it.
I thought I
Way
had
to go, James.
I'd go for Jordan Lewis #1, personally.
Darian Kendrick, who is a Seahawk.
A former Ram. We're about to see
He's
him
at
here
10.
this weekend. Let's go, Darian.
He's at 10. Okay, you're 10. You're a fan of his. Devin Witherspoon, who I thought
another
he's a
Seahawk,
good player.
man. They're rolling.
We're in trouble.
He's 14. He's 14. So trying to find the next Jaguars corner on the list here, which is Greg Newsome at 40.
There you go.
There you go.
Like it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What kind of different player personality is Newsome as compared to Tyson? Tyson off the field's great. Loved him. Everybody. He's been here for a long time.
First of all, super grateful for what Tyson gave to the organization. Can't have nothing negative to say about Tyson Campbell. Pro's pro. Did everything we asked. Handled the whole situation with grace and as a professional. Was a competitive. Helped us win games. Got help. He's part of us being 4-1 this year. So let's not forget that. But sometimes you got to look at the bigger picture and make tough decisions. James did a great job of leading us through this whole process. And I think you get a guy in Greg Newsome who you just turn on the tape and watch him. He's an outstanding cover corner. Has both skills in man or zone concepts. I think one of the things, we got an early view at him week 2 because the Browns played the Bengals right before we did. And watching him match up against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase that was a lot of fun to watch. They did a great job. Him and Denzel Ward, two of the better corners in this league, were asked to play a lot of man coverage and put in really tough
not easy to do against that team.
Really tough opportunities that they had to work through, and watching him handle that. And then you just go back to last week, is him being matched up against Justin Jefferson over in London. Just a very competitive individual, very confident, and I think really what he does a good job is when the ball's in the air of going to make a play on the ball. So looking forward to him getting out there on the field for us, but also have to have some patience during this process because, he won't be able to practice with us until tomorrow for the first time. Spending time right now with our coaches, getting an understanding of the defense and kind of how we operate and the terminology. And probably we're much more varied in our coverages than Cleveland, which is really a heavy man team. Mm-hmm. We do run some man concepts, but a lot of vision on the quarterback and the zone concepts that Campy likes to deploy. So we'll see where it goes, but we're excited to have Greg in the building.
Tell me about the swap, because you're sending a 7th to Cleveland, receiving a 6. Where might they be in draft order, like number, not like in the round, but the number overall?
Yeah, so it's actually going to be the Philadelphia Eagles 7th that we're sending to Cleveland. So fans can determine where does Philly end up.
That might end up.
Yeah, 1 to 32 in the round. And
Philly's pretty good.
They're sending us the New York Jets 6th. So fans, if you're interested, go ahead.
That's like a 5.
Figure out where that falls. So
said from a former Jet.
Let's just say,
as long as he would know.
There we go.
Former first-round pick of the New York Jets.
So
Jeff
some
Lageman.
version of, let's just say it ends up to where the New York Jets are somewhere in the top 15 picks of the round. The Philadelphia Eagles are in the back 15 picks in the round. You're talking about front end of the 6th, back end of the 7th as a part of that swap.
Big difference.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get a quick thought on the Chiefs' result, winning result. What's the touchdown is scored by Trevor Lawrence.
Well,
set the scenario. Where are you guys watching this, and what's going through your head when Trevor hits the deck?
Well, I'll let James get into that. But before we do that, real quick, I just want to talk about the atmosphere in the building.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a pretty cool evening, and we asked our fans to come out to get there early. Head coach was on the show last week.
He was.
And James and I have talked about the importance of the fans.
By the way, that was a rating spike when he was on here.
Yeah.
By the way. When he came on,
I'm sure.
It was big.
Let's go. Maybe
we should bring him back. Maybe we'll turn it back to the
Really
William Cohn
big.
show.
Yeah.
But not only did they show up, in the game, but they got there early, and I think really represented our city, made it difficult for Patrick Mahomes and that offense to operate, and so super grateful for that fan base. But hey, we got another one coming up Sunday. I know it's not Monday Night Football, but it's just as important for us to get to 5-1 before we go to London. We want to, the opportunity of playing from our home fans because we're going to be gone for a little bit with the bye and a couple of
When's
road
the next
games.
home game, JP, again?
November 16th.
16th.
Yeah, so this is, about a month we have. So, man, we hope the bank is filled just like it was Monday night. Same atmosphere, same energy because, boy, our players felt it, too. Our players, our coaches.
I felt it.
Yeah, everyone felt it. It came through the TV. man, we represented ourselves very well as a fan base, as a city, as a team. But ask the fans to come back, get there early, support our guys, because we got a huge test against the Seattle Seahawks, which I know we'll talk about a little bit. But I'll let James talk about what was going on at that moment.
Give us the scene set here. What's going on?
The double fall down.
Where are we at? When he hits the deck, what's happening?
You know what? I'd probably start back to the beginning of the drive, right? If we're going to story tell. What a great start by Bashaw Tootin, right? To not be over hyped up in that moment. It's a big moment. They're kicking off. Let the ball go out of bounds.
Big.
We start the drive on the 40, right?
Great start.
At this point, we're in a very good position to strike. Now, even before that, right, all right, it might be tough. We might have very small window here to work with on the time front. Good thing was we got a healthy volume of minutes still on the clock to operate with. We're able to actually have Trevor use his legs a couple different times, not go out of bounds, not throw the ball away, and still be able to operate with time on the clock. And to see a couple of the throws that he was able to make, a couple of the catches that our receivers were able to haul in order to get us into a position that ultimately led to a DPI, get us on the goal line.
Can I interject here and I just want real quick, because you're talking about the catch, and I earlier just said this, and I gave you some props because on the long pass to BTJ, you got 2 7th-round picks blocking Chris Jones in the middle. Okay, just wanted to throw that in there.
Those were some impressive tag teams, from those two guys. Yeah, that was an impressive moment in time to see those two step into the big stage and not flinch, be as prepared as they needed to be in order to come through and fulfill their obligation within the role. Obviously, that points to a lot of great work from their coaches, great work from them as individuals, knowing that they're not on the grass for a high number of snaps up to that point and are ready to work. And so that's not an easy thing to do. You two know that better than anybody. But nonetheless, yes, great point to flag. But for us to then put ourselves in a position on the goal line after having been in a position earlier in the game on the goal line and failed, to see the play design that was the slip six, right, was fascinating, right? To go down.
This guy's a genius if he's designing that. Come on.
We're tapping back into the New Orleans Saints game. There we screwed up by fumbling it, right? But now we're holding on. We're getting back up. And Trevor being in a position where, hey, there were probably thoughts that were like, throw it away, right? But says, you know what? Screw it. Ezra's going to clean up and take away any defensive lineman that's on the left hand.
Wax them.
That's right. And I'm going to go ahead and slip through this tackle, and we're going to win this football game right here and now.
Great effort by Chris Jones on that play.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Going a little tempo in that setting, it seemed to help because even on Trevor's first touchdown, it showed itself. So I do think those layers to the strategic approach to that game played into our hand at some of those critical moments, both of which we can point to Trevor's rushing touchdowns.
So the name, do we go with the slip six or do we go with Stumblerooski?
I would say
your vote.
Everyone's choice is their own because we all lived a fantastic moment and we get the luxury of referring to it however we choose. I'm probably not the one that we probably got to take a fan vote. It's probably the most appropriate. I wouldn't just choose that for everybody. But I do think that is a moment in life that many will remember for the duration. Right, so that's pretty cool.
I don't know if there's a game that came down to the wire in this place that was that crazy.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. There's no doubt, and to see so many. I mean, we were laughing a little earlier because Liam got sent some of the like live feed fan reactions in the seats and like them taking selfies of themselves watching it, and it's the expressions were everything that everyone was living, and it's just a fantastic moment for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's what sport is. That's what it's about. Totally. Some of those special moments in time.
And guess what? There's more this week. The Seattle Seahawks are coming to town. We'll return and take a look at this matchup with the 3-2 Seahawks facing the 4-1 Jaguars. This is Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Look closely at the Ford F-150, and you'll see more than just a truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. Just another reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America for 48 straight years. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Come in today for a great deal on a 2025 Ford F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Jaguars fans, it's time to show up and show out. Get game day ready with fresh gear from Fanatics. Rock your teal and black with the new Sideline collection, head-turning headwear, and exclusive drops you won't find anywhere else. Visit any of our 11 convenient locations throughout the stadium and rep your Jags in style. The Jaguars Pro Shop, a Fanatics experience.
Football and Miller Lite. Duval's greatest pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going well past postgame. Sunday night overtimes. Followed by Monday morning pride. Knocking on bar tops for luck. Kicking back on any given Sunday. You never forget the way some things taste. Jags football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
This is Jags HQ. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman from the Hyundai Studios of the Miller Electric Center. Tony Boselli and James Gladstone live in studio with us. And the Seahawks-Jaguars game is presented by Florida Blue, proud to be the exclusive health insurance provider and support the Jacksonville community as the official community partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Seahawks 3-2, the Jaguars 4-1. And I want to start on Seahawks offense here. Sam Darnold, guy who's been around a few different teams, found his way certainly in Minnesota last year. He's doing it again in Seattle this time around, and they're throwing this thing all over the yard right now.
Not all unlike what he was going through this time last year. He's finding his groove, and he's playing at a high level. That offense in particular, they got a nice balance of rushing and passing attack. They tilt towards heavy personnel, 12 personnel groupings, and want to lean into the run to start and open up their play-action passing attack. And, even at the receiver position, they got some high-level folks, a very cerebral player in Cooper Kupp and JSN, who's, yet to peak and is on his way.
That's what I need to do is call him JSN.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
He's good.
A little faster.
He's getting the ball a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And their tight ends are playing well. They got some young receivers who are doing good things in special teams, but also contributing on offense. It's tying well together for them. I don't know that their 3-2 record is a true reflection of just how good they are as a team, but offensively they certainly have an identity, and they're clicking. They're doing good stuff.
Watching Sam Darnold and Tony, I remember when he was coming out of SC, you were a big fan, and not just because he was an SC guy. You thought he was really good, and even when he didn't really make it with the Jets, which is a dysfunctional franchise, you still believed in him. And watching the film on him from this past game against Tampa Bay, he had one bad play, which was a deflection off the helmet. Mm-hmm. But the way he managed the pocket, I thought was impressive in that game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that can make all the throws. He has a really good arm. He's accurate. I'm not saying he's like elite accuracy, but he can put it where he wants to. And I think the thing that surprises people, he's a better athlete than he gets credit for. He can move around, buy time, mostly in the pocket. He's not like your true running quarterback, but he's elusive. He can get outside. He can extend plays, which makes him that much more dangerous. And I think in this offense, they brought Clint Kubiak in this year as the offense coordinator because they wanted to get back to that 12 personnel, run the ball, physical style, and then have the play action pass off it, which is really perfect for what how he can operate. And I think you've seen it early this year. He's played at a high level, had a great game against Tampa. I think the one thing that Sam has struggled with over the years is when you can muddy it up in front of him a little bit, get after him early. He'll put the ball in perilous places at times. He'll try to, if you change the picture on him, he'll try to stick it in there a little bit.
Did that last year here.
And that's what happened. So, but when he gets in a rhythm and they get the run game going, and they got a really good run game, the offensive line's playing well, and Kenneth Walker is a dangerous back who does a great job of working into the line of scrimmage. He has good vision. He'll cut late. And if you don't have really good gap integrity, he's going to crease you.
He's fast.
And he's a home run threat. He's a guy who can score from any place on the field. So they're a dangerous team. They easily could be 4-1, 5-0. I mean, they lost a very tight game last week, back and forth. Might be the most complete team we've played so far on our schedule. It's going to be a great test for us, and I think our guys are looking forward to it.
You were around Cooper Kupp for a long time. So how different is he of a player now? You said he's still cerebral. That never really goes away. What's the difference now about Kupp as opposed to when you were with him?
Oh, he is a special person, special player. He is a coach on the field. Great for somebody like JSN who's just a few years in and can leverage the knowledge that Cooper possesses. And you always got to account for him. He's got such a savviness to his game that especially when he's aligned against someone who has a corner is aggressive and going to try and bring the fight to you, he can play into that really well. Matching his savvy with savvy is probably the best approach that you can take because he can certainly lean into some of the techniques to sort of get you to play out of your comfort zone or play over your skis, so to speak, if you're too aggressive with him. So he can still do plenty to hurt you, and as a blocker, that also never leaves. Once you have that mentality, and he's got such strength, he can really dent the line of scrimmage as a receiver. We always sort of jokingly said that with the Rams, we didn't have wide receivers, we had tight receivers. And, condensed formations, acting more as tight ends as a part of the run game. And Cooper certainly fits that bill well.
Can he still run?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he plays football.
Okay. Guys typically when they get a little older, some of the tread gets a little thin. And
he runs better than you and I.
Well, that's not hard at all, to be honest with you. Can you even run anymore?
No.
All right, me either.
That's why everyone's better than me.
I can limp. It's kind of a jog limp.
No, exactly. Yeah. No, he can still play football. He's a good football player.
All right, I'd love to ask you the questions about some of these guys that they draft. And Gray Zabel was a highly touted offensive lineman out of North Dakota State, and he is the starting left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of people out there draft nicks. What were your thoughts on him?
We were under the impression that he could play either one of the two interior spots, center or guard. And, if he would have ever been somebody that we would have brought in here, I think it would have been a tall task to beat out one of the three veterans that we have starting on that front. But certainly felt like where Seattle selected him was within the realm of reasonable and appropriate, because clearly he's off to a good start here. Through the first handful of games for them and really being one of their higher performers on the interior.
How in the world did North Dakota State become this football powerhouse?
It's a pipeline for OL.
I mean, what in the world's going on
They got
here?
some receivers that keep coming out of there too. I mean, QBs have been a thing for them. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Good program.
Pretty impressive.
The Bison can get it done. Let's come back in a moment. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Gus Bradley.
I was going to say, isn't that where Gus Bradley came from? So that's
Bob Babbitt, all those guys.
He's a different school. He's not North Dakota State.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, North Dakota State.
Yes.
I thought he was.
Don't think.
Okay,
Stop thinking.
Okay.
It was
Don't
North
think,
Dakota
just
State.
throw. We're back in a moment. Seahawks defense. We'll get into those guys and get some final thoughts ahead of Week 6. The Seahawks and the Jaguars coming up. It's Jags HQ on Jaguars Radio.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on 47,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious Fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
The moment you drop off donations at a North Florida Goodwill, your things start new lives. A donated jersey helps someone suit up for success through education and training. A pair of old cleats helps a job seeker step confidently into new career opportunities. Every donation fuels Goodwill's mission to provide education, training, and career opportunities, removing barriers to employment and building brighter futures across our community. To find your nearest donation center and learn more, visit goodwillnorthfl.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
Welcome back and set your calendar for the annual Tailgate with Tony, benefiting the Boselli Foundation. Sunday, October 12th, instead of the Seahawks game, 10 a.m. to noon. Help support the Boselli Foundation's programs to provide mentoring for incarcerated young men, plus teachers in high-need schools. Elevated tailgate experiences available at BoselliFoundation.com. Tony, you going to wear the hoodie there or what?
I'm going to be wearing, I'm going to head over there. It starts at 10, I believe. I'm going to get
10
there.
o'clock. I just said it. I just read it right here. 10 to noon.
Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention. I'm going to get there at 10, but I have to be back at the facility by 10:55.
So get there early is what you're saying if you want to.
Well, I'll be there. Fred's going to be there early. So the first hour, Fred will be there. He'll be there a bit longer than I am. But the music, the food, all the stuff goes on right up to game time. So it'll be a good time.
Got any Bloody Marys there?
Oh, yeah, there'll be everything. So, Jeff, you can stop on by there before you go on the air. I'm sure.
Yeah, just what I need. Bloody Marys for me.
James, you got invited, James, or no?
I guess, was that my invite?
That might have been, yeah.
He is invited, but I don't want to. He's very busy. He's very important that day. So he's an important man.
That's what it is. Let's touch on the Seahawks defense, and they stopped the run. 3rd in the league against the run so far this year. Let's start up front with this group and the powerful front 4 and front 7.
We've seen some good fronts. This one is very much in the conversation for best to date. They have waves of players. You know, it's really not a front 4; it's a front 8 that you can consider them. We got a little sibling rivalry going on. One of our scouting staff members, her brother, is 94, Mike Morris. So
how about that?
I know they're not talking this week, ready for some game action, but nonetheless, their front 8 is that is a formidable group, and it's going to require a lot of focus on our end to ensure that we're able to find success there in both phases.
Is Byron Murphy all that I thought he was coming out of Texas?
Yeah, he's taken a really nice step here in year 2.
Yeah,
he is. He's showing out in a real way. I know there were early moments last year that spoke to why he got selected where he did, and then quieted down throughout the course of the season. But he is in a real strong position to make his presence felt from one game to the next.
He doesn't have a lot of length, and I think that was probably the criticism on him coming out.
That's right.
He's only a 6-foot guy.
That's right.
But look, you knew very well in L.A. that length doesn't necessarily have to be required to play well.
That's right. That's right. He was somebody that we certainly had our eye on in the conversation during that draft. He went before we ever had an opportunity to select, so it wasn't something for us to ever decide, but he goes in division, and so we faced him twice a year last year, and certainly know that he's somebody that every team's going to have to account for when they match up against the Seahawks. Beyond that, you're looking at a second level with another former Ram and Ernest Jones, who's kind of leading the way for their linebacking core. And I know that the way that he plays the game is very clean. It's very systematic, and so you know you're getting a fundamentally sound approach from their second level. And then at the third level, it's a group that includes some very cerebral safety, some very traitsy corners. They have dealt with some injuries, and that's led to Darion Kendrick getting more opportunities. I think you said he was in the top 10 of the PFF rankings.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's gotten his hand on the ball a couple times here with these ops that he's been given because of injuries. But also Witherspoon, he's coming back. He's back at practice. He's a spark plug for them. And, his energy, his play demeanor is something that stands out. And I think at all three levels there are players that we're going to have to make sure that we keep an eye on because they can make a difference.
Kind of a fun fact here. Darion Kendrick, who is a corner for the Seahawks.
You can call him DK. If you're going JSN, you can call him DK.
He caught balls from Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. He was
right.
a wide receiver that got converted to corner, and he
High
had
school
15
QB.
catches for 210 yards back in 2018 at Clemson. Pretty wild. Little fun fact there.
Pretty wild.
Yeah,
Well, Jeff, you talk about Byron Murphy up front, but also I think Leonard Williams is the one that.
Still 11 years. He's still
11
doing
years. Still, I mean, he's such a. I think he's really the thing that makes them go up front with his length. He has such strong hands and is so powerful with his upper body that he defeats doubles really well.
And Jeff, you said he didn't like Sam Darnold simply because he was a Trojan. I mean, are we sure?
Oh, we think we got a little Trojan left.
I mean, now the GM can listen. He can say, come over the top and say my scouting is poor and my evaluation of Leonard Williams is poor.
Unfortunately, he's on point.
Because and that's going to be key. Because what do we like to do? We like to play. We run inside mid zone. We like to run duo. We want to move people off the ball. We talk about being a physical team, which our offensive line's done a great job. Obviously, we're going to have, we have our hands full, but you get a guy like Leonard Williams who 11 years, third team, but every place he goes, the one thing that he does consistently is he is a dominant player in the run game. He can push the pocket in the pass game, but, man, his upper body strength and his ability to defeat doubles is really impressive.
But he's got a little extra motivation this week now. I mean, he's went to high school in Daytona
Beach. That's right. He's coming home.
I saw his interview on Seahawks.com or whatever their website is, and he's got quite a few tickets.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, they got a really good front. I mean, I think it starts, and you and James talked a lot about the second and third level, but to me, watching this team, it starts with their front four. That's where they're going to get after you. That's where they're going to make it, very difficult for you.
Who's this? If you take Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy out of the equation, who's the next best defensive lineman that they have?
That's fair to ask. Reed is certainly.
Yeah, I think Derek Hall also is a guy who can rush the passer.
If you want to go to the ends, yeah, Derek's off to a great start.
Yeah, he's playing.
He's a guy. Huh?
Yeah, he's a rush guy.
Derek Hall.
So they don't call him a DN, but that's what he is. He's a rush. They play that little bit. Their head coach came from Baltimore, so it's a little bit of that Baltimore defense. It's a 3-4-4-3. A lot of 4-3 structure with 3-4 principles. So you're going to see different looks, different body types. Some will be standing up, but really at the end of the day, their defensive ends are going to drop very little. They're going to come after you and be physical. And he's playing really well right now for them.
All right, final thoughts here. Home game at the bank. Last chance to see the Jags in Jacksonville until mid-November. So got to get here and got to have that fan support.
Yeah, we need fan support. Listen, we need to get to 5-1. This is the biggest game of the season. There is not a bigger game that we've had.
Franchise history.
To franchise history. I mean, this year, the history of the franchise right now is the most important time. And people might laugh, but we really believe that. I mean, there's nothing more important than us getting a win against the Seahawks. Whether it's because we're not going to be home for another month, we go to London next week, and the reality is because it's the next one, it's the next opportunity. And one of the things this team has done so far is responded to every opportunity they've had, the adversity they faced, success. We just had a big win on Monday night, didn't play our best football. I think there's a lot of people in this building that aren't happy right now with the performance and want to get out there. And a lot of times you say get that taste out of your mouth after a loss. I think a lot of guys are ready to get on the field and say, hey, let's go show who we are. that's nice talk, but we got to go do it, and having the support of the fans out there would be great.
It's amazing to do it after a win, certainly at 4-1. James, thanks for the time as always and the insight. Great to see you.
Thank you guys as always.
James Gladstone with us. Tony Boselli.
Are we doing this in London next week?
Yes, at the hotel.
We will be there.
We will be there.
Can't wait.
With microphones. They travel across the pond.
4 of them.
Get excited about it. I thought we'd have more excitement about
James
next
is excited.
week. Yeah.
Last year we did it in a pub.
We did. Was that? Oh, yeah.
Or 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. Maybe we can talk them into
Here's the other thing. What else are you going to do there?
Oh, we got plenty to do. Plenty.
You know what we got? I'm already behind this week on my player list on the college
DPL.
front. So next week we're turning to OL.
Love it.
Well, we're already on OL.
I'm a week behind.
Gotta go. It's Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Look closely at the Ford F-150, and you'll see more than just a truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. Just another reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America for 48 straight years. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Come in today for a great deal on a 2025 Ford F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Dude, did you order the new iPhone 17 Pro? Got it from Verizon, the best 5G network in America. I've never looked so good.
You look the same.
But with this camera, everything looks better, especially me.
You haven't changed your hair in 15 years. Selfies? Check, please.
New and existing customers can get the new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever. With eligible phone trade-in and unlimited ultimate. Any condition guaranteed. Best 5G scores, root metrics data, United States, 1H 2025. All rights reserved. Trade-in and additional terms apply for all offers. See Verizon.com for details.
Ranked one of the nation's top universities, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
And we are on the Jaguars Radio Network, presented by the University of Florida, #1 university in the U.S. News and World Report's #1 state for education. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman. Our thanks to Tony Boselli, EVP. James Gladstone, General Manager. Busy couple days for them, making trades mid-season. He is not scared, that James Gladstone, to pull the trigger on a trade now. He will do it.
Well, I mean, look at, again, I hate to refer back to the PFF numbers, but that's the one thing that you can use as a measuring tool. And that tool says that just, apples to apples, that you got a better player. I like Tyson Campbell. I think he's a high-quality individual and hope that he does great in his next stop with the Cleveland Browns. I think it's also exciting that you got a guy that is on a contract year with an opportunity to retain him after this year. And, I would say that Tyson Campbell was at the top of the market for cornerbacks when it comes to pay, but I don't think the play equaled the top of the market pay. And so when you have that kind of disparity as a general manager, your responsibility is to make sure that you try to get the pay and the play on equal terms. And I'm glad that they were able to kind of free themselves of that financial responsibility, but to get a player of equal or better value in the process. That's pretty amazing.
There's some dead cap hit this year, but then it clears out, and they should be in good shape. I think $50 million or so right now going into next season.
That's a lot of money.
And that's we're far from done. So there's who knows what else could happen moving ahead. They were just as flabbergasted, I think, was with the finish against Kansas City, as most of us were. They held it together a little more, but that's it's a unique win for the Jags, and still a lot to be done. And that's Tony's last thought was, there's a lot of upset people in here this week with the way they played, but still won.
Well, I get that, because, just because, look, kind of again that theme of, look, it's prime time, you get amped up, you want to be able to be at your best, but you don't want to get overhyped and to perform, and I think a little bit of that had it all off kilter a little bit for this football team. And I remember listening to Bucky Brooks give us a halftime report of what was said in the locker room, and the head coach, I thought, had the magic words, which I think, when he said the team, hey, look, we're better than that. Let's settle down and just play our game. And, you could tell that the team coming out after halftime really did settle down. So credit to the coaching staff and credit to the players for having the second half that they did.
All right, we're back in a moment. We'll get a tease of the hunt. The next episode drops tonight.
Tonight. Don't watch it, okay? It's probably going to be 30, 40 minutes. You got to watch it after, okay, Jaguars All Access tonight.
Oh, okay, yeah. DVR it. Come back to it. Or, vice
watch
versa.
Jaguars All Access and then watch the hunt.
You do that, yeah. This is Jags HQ on Jaguars Radio.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game. Jaguars fans, are you ready to beat the heat? All season long, head to Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach, Fleming Island, and the West Side to cheer on your Jags. And here's the game-changing play. Order the Beat the Heat Special, which includes 12 of the best wings in town, and score a free milkshake or ice-cold milk in the Jaguars Souvenir Cup. Thanks to our friends at Florida Dairy Farmers. Fuel up, cool down, and celebrate your Jaguars with Mr. Chubby's Wings and Florida Dairy Farmers, the ultimate game day team.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
Welcome back. It is Jags HQ. JP Shadrick with you. We'll have more from Jeff Lageman coming up. The Jaguars host the Seattle Seahawks this Sunday. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff time. The game presented by Florida Blue. Also tonight, it's another episode of The Hunt. Here's the teaser.
Heading into week one, it's establishing our identity. You know, are we the hammer or are we the nail?
Let's be the most physical team and the most violent team.
These guys are gonna punch every time.
I think the identity of the team has really just been toughness.
Good job, good, finish.
It's not about, who we're facing, it's about them having to go through us.
Get in there.
We were saying all week, like, they're trying to be the bullies. But it's like a new bully in town. We're not going for none of that. We standing in the paint. We're gonna fight you back.
Let's go!
Learning how to win difficult games, especially not playing your best, is very important.
A lot of it was just reminding the guys and letting them know who they're capable of being.
You know, they have a belief that something great's going to happen.
What an opportunity for us to go kick down a door. Go kick it down.
Etienne picking his way. He's got some room. 20. Into the open field. 30. Firing downfield. An opportunity. Picked off. Jordan Lewis picked it off. What a play. They blitz. 20. 15. 10. 5. Touchdown on the play. Now he's going to try and run it in. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. Trevor ran it in. He ran it in.
There you have it, the Hunt, episode 8 tonight, 7 o'clock on Jaguars YouTube, and you can get behind-the-scenes looks exclusively of everything that's happened so far this season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You won't find it anywhere else, trust me. Check it out, debuting again, or the next episode debuts tonight. We're back in a moment. Jeff Lageman back with us. Plenty to discuss heading into week number 6, and this is Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Ranked one of the nation's top universities, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Look closely at the Ford F-150, and you'll see more than just a truck. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. Just another reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America for 48 straight years. The Ford F-150. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Come in today for a great deal on a 2025 Ford F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Welcome back. It's Jags HQ presented by Fred from Florida, and Week 6 is here. The Jaguars gear up to go head-to-head with the Seattle Seahawks in the crucial catch game. It's dedicated to the fight against cancer. Join us this Sunday at Everbank Stadium as we raise awareness through early detection, risk reduction, and education. Lock in your tickets at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman. the Seahawks and the Jaguars. We've touched a lot on the offensive part of Jaguars football. Certainly, the Jags defense taking the ball away. But the special teams groups have been making an impact.
Getting better.
Yeah, and last week they had Quinn Allen making some plays. They had Rayon Lane down the field in
Wasn't
coverage.
he good now?
He's really
good. I remember when the final roster cuts down came about, Daniel Thomas, I was like, please find a way to keep him.
Yeah.
Because he's just been so good in the past. And when he ended up moving on, and I was like, wait a minute. I mean, how do you replace that guy? Well, you replace that guy with Rayon Lane, who has been fantastic. I mean, fantastic on special teams. He had a really good job as a gunner the first 2 punts that the Jaguars had when they didn't have any offensive success. The 2 punt returns went for 3 yards total. And then LaQuinn Allen, late in the ball game, ended up having like a 38-yard kick return that gave the Jaguars the ball at the -41 that allowed them to have a go-ahead score, which the Kansas City Chiefs scored again. But nonetheless, LaQuinn Allen is having an impact. So, and Cam Little made the field goal opportunity that he had. I thought Logan Cook had a strong outing. And the coverage units overall got better. And the challenge this week is also pretty high against Seattle because they had a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown earlier this year, which was a Seattle Seahawks record. And that was by Torrey Horton. And then their kick return guy last week, which is Derek Young, had a 43 and a 50-yard kick return. So the challenge of special teams this week, I think, goes up. And it's a little personal.
Okay.
And the reason it's a little personal is Heath Farwell, the Jaguars special teams coordinator, has a little history in Seattle as a player.
Sure. And their kicker has history here.
He does, Jason Myers.
So there you go. Revenge game.
Is that Jason Myers, the one from Friday the 13th?
I hope so. That means he's going to scarily miss field goals. That's a different guy. It's a different guy up here. I was told it's Michael Myers.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Great joke, Lodge.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. Just checking. By the way, Jason Myers has got a big leg.
Yes, he does.
He's got a big
That was
leg.
the whole thing. It was just all over the place when he was here, but he's, for the most part, straightened it out in Seattle.
He was the Jaguars kicker 2015 to 2017. He's had a great career. He's still rolling, too.
Let's come back in a moment and get our final thoughts ahead of the Seahawks-Jaguars matchup. It is Jags HQ on Jaguars Radio.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on 47,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious Fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are a part of it. Introducing First and Forward, a development partner program highlighting the significant contributions made toward the transformative efforts to the city of Jacksonville. Thank you, Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, Office Images, Sims Crane, Start Tech, and People's Gas. Championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward program. The First Coast Forward Together. To learn more, visit jaguars.com/forward together.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Ride Now Jacksonville's second annual Bike Bash is Saturday, November 22nd from noon till 5. Enter to win a 2024 Kawasaki Ninja E180S. Registration is free and you must be present to win. Go to ridenowjacksonville.com for more details. The first 25 people through the doors snag a free Kawasaki swag bag, plus food trucks, live music, vendors, and giveaways. Check out the all-new 2025 Ninja lineup from 500S to ZX10S. Ready to let the good times roll. Don't miss it. November 22nd, only at Ride Now Jacksonville.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
Welcome back, Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman. Our thanks to James Gladstone and Tony Boselli joining us in the first half hour or more each and every week. You can catch this archives if you've missed it. If you're driving around and missed it,
I got a lot. I got a lot on my menu. I got sounds of the game.
Yeah, you're busy.
That just popped. I think earlier today. You've got the hunt that's out at 7 o'clock tonight.
You did Film Room YouTube earlier this week. Film Room.
I did, and also Jaguars All Access tonight with Josh Hines Allen. Oof. I mean, what more do you want?
I mean, we're filling up the content funnel here.
Great, fantastic national TV win in front of a packed Everbank Stadium. Loving every minute of that. But you know what, JP? I'm a little nervous about this game.
Are you really?
I am.
Whoa, why?
I'm not going to lie.
Seahawks 3-2, Jaguars 4-1.
Well, look, okay, short week, number one. Okay, can you handle the success of Monday night's victory?
I've seen the Jaguars everywhere on television.
Everywhere, and there's a lot of pats on the bit. Hey, man, that's awesome. You guys are awesome. Great win.
What a win, Trevor.
You're great.
Right.
You're there. You know, and I hear this, okay, they're not happy with just the win. They didn't play well. Okay, well, I got a Seattle team traveling to the East Coast, you know, and you got a impending trip to London next week. You know, there's a lot of things that could distract this football team. And, you know, look, the NFL is not an easy game to win, as we know. So I'm a little nervous, JP. I'm not going to lie.
What would it take for you to not be nervous anymore?
I don't think they're.
What if they scored 21 in the first quarter?
Yeah, that would probably
help.
Yeah, smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, you know, and you know the offense is still kind of a work in progress.
I know, right?
You know,
when is that going to go?
Their quarterback is at 73% completion rate. You know, they've got a really good corner. You know, who's going to play where Tyson Campbell was at this week? Monteric Brown, maybe. Ew. You know,
is Newsome going to be ready?
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that would propel me to come to Everbank to watch this game this week.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
This is top tier NFL football, is what it is.
An opportunity for this team to be 5-1, which has not happened since 1999. I
was a senior in high school.
You were a young man.
Yes, I still am a young man.
And I had just gotten done playing.
How about that?
I was doing radio for the Jaguars and TV at that time for the team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yeah. All right, so that's coming up. Tickets available, jaguars.com/tickets, or call 904-633-2000. Also, the Crucial Catch game. There'll be a lot of pregame and in-game activities and activations. I know the Tom Coughlin J Fund will be heavily involved. Kelly Coughlin and her crew will be here and involved, and I'm sure Coach Coughlin will be around, and all that happens. And, of course, hits closer to home to the Josh Hines Allen family after what they've gone through this year as well. So always a special day at the bank, and look forward to that on Sunday.
And don't forget about Tailgate with Tony and Fred.
Yes, that's right. More Fred than Tony, but they'll both be there. You can go to TheBoselliFoundation.com and check that out for the tailgate on Sunday. Jeff Lageman, I'm JP Shadrick. Our thanks to Joe Fortunato, Brent Reber, David Cho, our entire crew. Thanks to you for listening and watching Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.